Yo, let me speak life to you. I'm gonna tell y'all about a personal testimony that I had about a visitation with Jesus. When the Bible tells us that God will never leave us nor forsake us, He meant just that. So I was at a very low place in life. I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know which way to turn. This was back in 2022. Just recently got out of a relationship that was toxic for me. And I could understand why someone would commit suicide. I was under such intense pressure, but that was never a thought process that I really had to, leave out of the earth or commit suicide, because I always viewed it as selfish. But I did get an understanding and a recollection of why someone would. So then one night, I just go to sleep randomly. I didn't pray for any encounter. I didn't pray for anything. Jesus visited me in my dream, and it went like this. We was in a one-story house. I was with my brother and sister. We was expecting Jesus to come. I knew Jesus was coming because I told my sister, I said, get ready, Jesus is coming. Like, looking back at it, I'm like, wow. So he arrives, and when he arrives, I'm telling my sister to direct Jesus to the back room that we was sitting in. And then he comes in, and then when he gets to the door, I see a figure of a man, but he's transparent, but he has glory all around him. He then proceeds to embrace my brother first, and then he embraces my sister. I'm still sitting on the bed, I'm looking down, and then I look up when he stands right in front of me. And he gave me an embrace that I could still feel to this day. That was so real. I was living in a place that was even more real than reality right now. And then all I can remember, when Jesus gave me this beautiful hug, I remember crying in the dream and letting everything that I had inside of me out. And that gave me the motivation to, keep going. Jesus really met me in a place when I was at my lowest and I thought it was no way out. The presence of peace that I got when God embraced me was unearthly. It was unexplainable, the amount of peace that I felt in that moment. I woke up and I had chills on my body from the experience, and I could not even explain it. Like, God's peace surpasses the understanding of all men. Like, it's no way I can be able to tell you and you get a comprehension of what I'm trying to say. And then in my visitation, I remember it went from sobbing to rejoicing. I began to hear my brother, sister, and me begin to speak in tongues because the presence of God was so heavy in that room that was the only way our body knew how to respond, was to worship Him. I say all that to say this: God really loves us. Jesus really loves us. And He does not want us to perish. He really genuinely wants us to have life and to choose life. You're not too low that God cannot reach you and pick you up from out of that low place. My God is the God of the valley just as much as He is the God of the mountaintop. And sometimes the experiences of the valley have greater benefits than always being on the mountaintop, because I would have never experienced God in a way had I not been in that valley. Persevere through it. You will make it. You will live and you will not die. You will be more than a conqueror. Jesus has a plan and a purpose for each and every one of you. And I did this video to encourage somebody. Jesus loves you. I love you. Keep going.